Welcome to a fall sports season update. A lot of people get credit for success that occurs in athletic programs, but we know who does all the work. We know where the work comes from. I want to share a quick poem with you before you start the seminar or the webinar. It's called The Train. I'm sure you can identify with it. It goes, "It's not my job to run the train, the whistle I don't blow. It's not my job to say how far the train's supposed to go. I'm not allowed to pull the brakes or even ring the bell, but let this thing run off the track and see who catches." I'll turn it back over to the staff.
Good morning. I haven't heard that one, but that was great. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the, I guess, midpoint of the fall season. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy Drakeford. I am the Director of Finance here at the South Carolina High School League. I also serve as the Executive Assistant to the Commissioner, Dr. Singleton. So there are several things this morning that I wanted to share with you. I won't take up a lot of your time, but some things that I think are really important and some of the problems that I see throughout the year. First of all, my department handles everything financial. So invoices, membership dues and insurance, entry fees, sanction applications also come through the finance department. So if at any time you ever have questions about any of that stuff, feel free to pick up the phone, give me a call. You can send me a quick email. Sometimes that gets a quicker response, but just know that if there is anything that you have trouble with, my phone is always available. First thing I wanted to talk about are your entry fees as we get a little bit closer to playoff season and championship events. Several of our sports have entry fees. So we're talking swim, which is about to come up, cross country, wrestling, track, tennis. They all have entry fees. One change moving forward this year is that you do not have to complete the entry fee form. So there is no entry fee form to complete. I will get the list of participants from the commissioner over that sport. I will invoice the schools. So each school will receive an invoice from me for swim, tennis, whatever it is that you had participants in. So there is no entry fee form to complete. The next point about entry fees is that the executive committee approved a change this year. So in the past, last year, there was no cap on entry fees. It was $25 per participant. This year, there is a cap. It is $250 per team. So if you have 12 girl swimmers and you have 12 boys swimmers, it'll be $250 for the girls team, $250 for the boys team, a max of $500. So that is one change that you should see this year. And some of you should notice that difference, particularly in swim and cross country and track, those events. But again, no form to fill out, just make sure that you look out for the invoice that comes from the school. The next thing that I want to talk about, which is really sometimes a challenge, are the financial forms. And if I can share my screen, let's see, make sure I can get this done. All of our financial forms are located on the website. So if you go to the forms tab of the AD notebook, click on forms and scroll down about halfway through the page. We've separated them. There are fall financial forms, winter forms, spring forms. The important thing to remember about the financial forms is make sure you select the correct form. Some of our forms have different qualifier forms. They have a different first round form. They have a different third and fourth round form. So just make sure that you're selecting the correct form. Make sure that you send a copy of that form to our office and to the visiting school. And if you're the visiting school, you should be expecting a copy of that form from the host school. So just make sure that within a 2-week period, you complete the form and you send a copy to our office, send a copy to the visiting school. One other reminder about the financial forms is we do not collect money anymore in the early rounds of playoffs. So there's nothing due to the league. That share goes to the visiting schools. So there should be a split between however many schools are participating for playoffs, obviously, typically a couple schools. So if there is a share to be had, it goes to the school. It does not come to the high school league. And again, make sure that you complete the jamboree forms. If you are hosting a football jamboree, a basketball jamboree, baseball jamborees, that form is the same across all sports. Volleyball does have multiple forms. Football has one form for all rounds, but each season those forms are different, and they're different based on the sport. Typically it's in the spring where we start losing, and I say losing, but forms stop coming in. The fall, we're all, about it, but we get close to the spring and there are so many sports going on that I'm having to call schools and try to figure out where those forms are. So just make sure that you help your ADs stay on top of getting those financial statements in to the high school league office. The other thing that I want to share is sanctioning. And for those of you who either sanction for your coaches or for the ADs, if you have coaches sanctioning their own events, or if the AD does it, whoever does it, if you can just make sure that you relay the message that they need to make sure that as they complete this application, they submit the sanction application. Make sure to do the final step and hit the submit button, because I have a lot of applications in queue right now that have never been submitted. So I don't know if they're finished. I don't know if they're still waiting to add teams. I don't know if the event's been canceled. They're just sitting in queue. So make sure that you hit the submit button. The other thing to make sure is that if you have finished all the process, you've gone through all of the steps, filled out the form, make sure that you check with the principal to see if they are getting an email. I cannot approve events that are not signed by the principal. So I have a lot of events sitting in queue that haven't been signed. And I am every day having to go in there and hit send an email. And those reminders should be going to the event manager. So whoever is listed as the event manager, whatever email goes in that box right there, that's the person that's getting the reminder. So if you're putting in the coach, or if it's a third party or whoever it is, understand that when I send a reminder email, it's going to that person. Also, I will send an email to the principal. So make sure that you're putting the correct email in there for your principal, and then check with the principal to make sure that they're getting it. Have them check their spam folder. I think initially when they first log in and create a new account, the emails may be going into junk or to spam. So just make sure that they're checking that if they say they haven't gotten an email from me. Also, sometimes people forget to add teams. They want to change something. The application allows you to make changes. So you can go back and change the approval. You can add teams. So if you want to, edit the application, you can click on edit approval and then change information in there. Make sure you hit submit if you're making changes, because otherwise it doesn't take. The other thing, again, just make sure that your principals are getting the email. Make sure if you have any questions about the sanction process, you call me. I will typically invoice after I approve the event. So once I approve it, I'll send an invoice to the school for the $50 entry fee. Just a reminder that there is a late fee if we don't receive your application within a 30-day window. And I think that's it for sanctioning. Again, this is an all digital process. I am no longer accepting paper applications. Part of the benefit of the digital application is that it should automatically be sending emails to your principal. It also automatically posts approved events to our website. So I'm still getting a few paper applications, and I'll respond to people telling them that there's no way for me to post these events if you send them by paper. But if you enter the digital application, it automatically feeds our approved list on the website. Also check back. So every now and then, if you've sanctioned a few events, go back to the sanctioning link, click on that main tab, and check your events to see what the approval status is. If you see a denied status, or if you see a pending status, or if you see anything other than an approved, then open up that event and see why. Typically, I will put a note in there that tells why it's pending, or why it's been denied if that's the case. So just check on the status of it. Make sure to check the website too to see if your events have been approved. If you don't see your event listed on our website, and that can be found, let's see if I can go back to it. That can be found, let's see, in the AD notebook. If you scroll down on the first page of the AD notebook, you should get to the sanctions section down here, yes. And our approved list of invitationals and jamborees can be found there, everything that's been approved. The nice thing about this is you can sort it by sport, you can sort it by type, you can sort it by school. So if you're looking for your school pretty quickly, you can just hit that button and sort, and it'll tell you everything that's been approved. If ever there's a change and you can't figure it out, feel free to give me a call. Just let me know how I can be of assistance. I think that's all that I have. Amy, one quick announcement for those of you who may not know, probably many of you don't. I will be leaving my position at some point this year. The commissioner is actively seeking a new executive assistant. It is not posted, but if there is anyone out there that is interested, please send your resume, send a letter of interest to the league office. You can send it to my attention, or you can send it to Commissioner Singleton's attention. But just send your resume, a letter of interest. If anyone is interested in taking on my position, I will be relocating. So for those of you who did not know, I'll be moving soon. And again, if you have any questions about the position or the job description, feel free to give me a call. I am going to stop my share and turn it over to you, Amy.
All right. Thanks, Cindy. Appreciate you covering that information. And like I said, this is just kind of a fall sports. As we get into playoffs, just wanted to share a few reminders with you all. So I'm going to share my screen. We have obviously state swim coming up next weekend. So we are getting into the championships. And I'm going to share my screen right here with you. We are going to change the process a little bit with how we report qualifiers. In the past, you would just send emails, and a lot of times you would just send emails and you would list the schools that qualified for the playoffs, but not necessarily the sport. And a lot of you have your tennis team and your volleyball team that both qualify. So with that, we have updated the website. So you can see here, we'll go to AD Notebook. And you'll just scroll until you get to the reporting scores and qualifiers. So now we will have you, when you have we'll have tennis and volleyball qualifiers that'll be coming up first, followed by football. So you would just simply click on the qualifiers, and it is going to be just a jot form where you will enter the information that's listed for you. So that way it's just better tracking. It'll be sorted for tennis, volleyball, and football. So it helps us when we're getting ready to establish the brackets. We will also have posted in the same link. You can see here we have reporting scores. So we will add a scores report tab as well. So it'll have volleyball scores, girls tennis scores, football scores, and you'll use the same link when it comes to reporting those scores. So that is something new. It'll be completed on a jot form. So you will not just be emailing Jan in our office, who I think has sent out an email making everyone aware that she is retiring. And we're definitely going to miss Jan here in the office and everything that she does for us. So we are making a few changes to how we had things submitted to our office. And also, while I have you, very quickly before I let you go, we do have golf qualifiers coming up and state championship for Class A and 2A. So for those of you that do have a golf team, that information can be found on the main page, but as well as on the golf page. And so it'll have information listed for each qualifier, and it has the times, location, contact person, everything you need to know. If you click on the link for your qualifier, it will have all the information, contact that you will need. So just want to make you aware of that. And then also with the forms, because you will have entry forms that will be due. All right, so we will have coming up girls golf qualifier entry forms, and you can see those are listed for Class 4A, Class 3A, And then class 2A and class A will have a state qualifier entry form. I thought we had one more. I was looking for one more entry. Competitive cheer will be listed there as well. And your girls tennis for class A and class 2A. That's the other entry form I was looking for that you will send in to our office. But just some updates just to get you ready as we enter into the playoff season for our fall sports. We wanted it to be just very short, very informative. Before we get off, are there any questions or anything we can answer for you all? If so, I think you have the ability to put it in the Q&A. So if there are any questions, we'll be glad to address those before Cindy and I get off to get back to our day here at the office. And if you do not have any questions, then we can sign off, and we appreciate your time this morning. This was recorded, so if you need to go back to refer to anything, that'll be great. And anybody you speak with and they were not able to attend, you can let them know that it will be posted on our rewind tab on the website. So, but with that, we're going to close out. We hope you all have a great day and great rest of the week, and good luck as you enter into the playoffs this upcoming fall. So thank you all. Oh, I see I have one question. Oh, so thank you. So thanks, Angie. We appreciate it. And thanks to all you all do for our high schools here in South Carolina. So thanks and have a great day.